Let me go ahead and set the vibe for what this video is about. A stance you should expect to hear being stood on firmly, 10 toes down. I think Michael shouldn't have even had a family in the first place. If it's been a while since you've played through the story of GTA 5 or never played it at all, this section of the video is going to be the exposition dump for you. And if you're familiar with it already, you can go ahead and skip to the timestamp in the description. With all that said, let's get into it. One of the main subplots that Michael goes through in the story is his relationship with his wife Amanda and his two kids, Jimmy and Tracy. How that story goes of Michael and Amanda meeting is that Michael was starting to feel like a big boss in his criminal lifestyle, real Timothy Henderson behavior, so he does what any dude who feels like he's on top does. Go to a strip club and throw dollar bills at women so they can pay attention to you because none of them do outside. There he met Amanda while she was on the clock, which was also the pole, which isn't the only pole she worked around according to Trevor. She took more attention to him than any other girl would, and they had a fling, which turned into a relationship. Michael would be the supportive boyfriend, funding their lifestyles, while Amanda was the arm candy. Later down the line, Amanda would get pregnant, and then pregnant again, which suddenly left Michael a career criminal with two kids running around with maniacs. So he had to make a choice, and as someone who had something to lose, doing crime with people who have nothing to lose themselves, he wanted a way out, which he found for his family, but was a setup for his boys. All for him and his family to leave that life in North Yankton behind and start anew, which he took with no remorse and not one look back. This leads to a very dysfunctional family dynamic to become even more dysfunctional and broken as they took refuge in Los Santos. Michael, being a movie fanatic, he always saw himself as the main character, the good guy even. The guy who triumphs over impossible odds and rides off into the sunset with a beautiful girl sitting in the passenger seat. So because of that, he treats Amanda and the kids as accessories. But when he sees that the sunset and happy endings don't happen outside of the screen, he starts treating them even more like accessories, even less than that. Michael sees how Tracy has become a young girl who chases highs and tries to gain attention from dudes that her dad never gave her, and doesn't step up to fill in the Michael-shaped void in her mind and soul. Michael sees how Jimmy just slouches around in his room all day, disappearing in the video games, getting high, because he never spent any time in Jimmy's life enough for him to want to participate in life, and never involves himself in Jimmy's life, or gets him to go out and find one. Michael sees that Amanda is sleeping around with various people, which is an attempt to piss him off, and an even worse attempt to get Michael to be a better husband, and does yoga so she can find some semblance of calm because of the insane life Michael roped her into. And he does an attempt to work on himself so she can be faithful and have peace. He sees it all and knows deep down why they all do it, but doesn't attempt to fix it because, again, they're just accessories for his happy ending that he's deluded himself into believing he deserves. After the first act, one of the main turning points in this family is in the mission Did Somebody Say Yoga, where Michael attempts to do yoga. Not because he's interested, but to poke fun at Amanda. Michael loses it seeing Amanda back into Fabian and attacks him, which fails, and Amanda finally snaps and leaves with Fabian around her arm. He goes to get Jimmy and annoy him instead, which also goes wrong as Jimmy drugs Michael and takes his car along with some cash for moving out. When Michael comes back, he finds that Tracy is also gone along with Jimmy and Amanda, who left a note telling Michael that he's insane and Amanda will be away with Fabian, even hinting at a possible divorce. This is now rock bottom in Michael's story arc. After this mission, he'll bring up how he misses his family from time to time, even leaving a voicemail for Jimmy pleading to talk to him. He no longer has his accessories, and the reality is hitting him that they never were accessories for some Vinewood fantasy. They were his family, real people who, once upon a time ago, cared about him and tolerated him. But he screwed up royally, and now he's lost them. Trevor even calls him out at one point about how shitty he treated them, and now that they're gone, he misses them. Luckily for Michael, though, after the second act, he gets the chance to get his family back, and with all the exposition done, this is where we get to the reason of this video. In the mission reuniting the family, Jimmy comes back and rants to Michael some more about how his life is fucked because of his dad, which is pretty much true, and how shitty of a dad he's been. Afterwards, Jimmy tells Michael about how Amanda has been doing, jokingly saying that she's been great with Fabian to screw with Michael, but then revealing that Amanda is mad at him while also scared he's gonna die and wants Michael to come and prove that he gives a shit about the family. To which Michael agrees to do. So, one thing, this cutscene is supposed to be what Michael and Jimmy needed to get along, which is absolutely nothing because it sounds just like a regular argument they would have had before. You'd think that we'd get more, like Michael actually acknowledging that he should have been in Jimmy's upbringing more, playing ball and being a role model for him, but, I guess not, I guess not. After this, Michael arrives at a shop Amanda and Fabian are at, and seeing how Fabian's being an asshole and mistreating her, he shuts it down in the only way he knows how. He tries apologizing to Amanda, which Jimmy does for him in a very simple way, and somehow it's enough for Amanda to give him another chance through couples counseling at Dr. Friedlander's. Okay. After this, we see Michael and Jimmy go to get Tracy, who's chatting up Mr. Sexual Harassment in the workplace for another shot on Fame or Shame, which he'll only do if Tracy blows him. Luckily, Michael and Jimmy come in to save the day and torture Laszlo some. Michael then intimidates Laszlo into getting Tracy on the Fame or Shame with no diddling, and that convinces Tracy to forgive Michael. Now, this moment is the only moment where I can understand one of them forgiving and wanting to try again with Michael. Tracy having all of her attempts to get attention ruined, especially in quite embarrassing ways, to then having her dad step in to protect her and secure her a dream opportunity she wants is definitely a redeeming quality. And finally, we drive to Friedlander's office and have probably the worst moment in this subplot, though one of the best moments as well, which some may know. We get a scene of Michael and Amanda attempting to have therapy on neutral ground and, absolutely failing at it.
Things beneath me.
No, normally there's a whore beneath you.
For someone who spends every waking moment working on themselves inside and out, I gotta tell you, the progress has been really fucking slow.
How would you know what progress is like, you stupid murdering shit?
How about you suck my cock? Ha!
Now, if you haven't played this game, you might be thinking, oh, this is where they both apologize and see the error in their ways of how they raise their kids, especially Michael, as he's the root of it all, given how the mistreatment going on was mostly his doing. And you are completely wrong. The session ends and Michael just simply asks if Amanda and the kids will come back, and Amanda just agrees. Yeah, a shouting match that sounded exactly like an argument they'd have at the start of the game, and Michael himself not finding the words to apologize to Amanda, and instead just going, oh, please, baby, please come back, please. Franklin keeps going, hey, yo, she took the kids, nigga. Yeah, that's all that was needed to convince her to come back. That was it. Hell, on the drive back, they try saying that the shouting match was what they needed all along because it was cathartic, which is certainly a choice, considering one of the biggest critiques Amanda had about Michael was that he killed people and then would sit in the sun and feel bad about it. Her exact words in that session. And then you can just run people over in this mission and it won't fail. You only get alternative dialogue about how Michael doesn't seem to be changing, but the fact that you don't fail the mission entirely or get an alternate scene of Michael and his family entering the house with Amanda shouting at him kills everything in the game when it's trying to tell you that he's redeeming himself. This mission always gave me the feeling that the writers didn't know how to have Michael be a good dad trying to perform in the story, while we played as him outside of it, even in it sometimes. Because it's hard to make it believable that Michael promises to try and be there for his family more and stop the killing, when you can keep killing, sleep with working girls and get lap dances, and not help Jimmy or Tracy when they call you for help. And there's no hidden mission or phone call that'll come up with either three calling out his behavior. You can have Michael act the exact same and the story keeps moving along. The more you played GTA 5, the more apparent it seems that Rockstar was kind of lost in the sauce of what to do for their protagonist. Hell, even the world sometimes. Michael and the DeSantas are unfortunately one of these examples. And that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed and are still listening to this, then I'd appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up and a share to those who are into GTA 5 and want to hear opinions on the story. Eventually, I plan to make a video on the open world and express my apparently boiling hot take that the world is painfully boring. So if that intrigues you, then you should subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss that upload. With all said and done, take care, have a good night.